Joining me now is Senator Mark Warner from Virginia, who is also taking over as the top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee, a big challenge indeed. Thank you, Senator, for being with us.
Thank you, Andrea.
So this new structure, bringing in Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Senator, is this an effort to address the problems that the Democratic Party experienced in not reaching out more broadly around the country in the election?
I think Chuck has put together a good team. I think he's going to be a great leader. And as he said, this is both geographically and ideologically diverse. And in my theory on what happened a week ago is a little different from most. I think this was a rejection not only of the Democrats, but kind of establishment of the media, of frankly most of business, since there was not a single Fortune 500 CEO who endorsed Trump. And I think there was a cry from the American people saying, hey, our system isn't working for enough people. Now, I've been a business guy longer than I've been in politics, but something is a little different with modern American capitalism that only kind of gauges to the next quarter. Something's different when 95% of corporate profits are spent on share buybacks and dividends rather than reinvesting in business. Something is different when we've got a workplace there where nobody's going to probably work in the same firm for 40 years the way my dad did. So we're going to need to think more creatively about things like portable benefits and new incentives for workforce training, how we get business back to investing over the long term. I'm not sure where these fall Democrat, Republican, but if we don't address the anger and angst that was heard last week, then I think we're not doing our duty for America.
What focus does that place on the tax cuts for corporate America, for the wealthy, that the president will, I believe, under budget rules, be able to pass with 51 votes?
Well, Andrea, what it is going to mean is somebody who spent much of my first term in the Senate desperately trying to put together the bipartisan group. I was the gang of six that tried to work on the Simpson-Bowles plan that said let's do tax reform, but also let's do deficit reform, which included some additional revenues. I'm for getting a lower corporate tax rate. I'm for bringing back some of that capital abroad, but I'm also not doing it in a fiscally responsible way. We got $19 trillion in debt already, and some of the independent analysis of the president-elect's plans would add literally trillions to the debt. You have that, and you increase interest rates, and you've got a fiscal disaster coming. And my hope is that a lot of, particularly in the House, a lot of the so-called Freedom Caucus and others will be as strong on debt and deficit with this president-elect as they were with President Obama.
You're replacing Dianne Feinstein, who really had a very stern hand on the intelligence communities, and she pushed back, and she issued that report on torture. And in taking that job on, what is the decision to push out Mike Rogers from transition and from possibly being CIA leader tell you?
I got to tell you, I was shocked. I have enormous respect for Mike Rogers. I think he would have been a great CIA leader. I was flabbergasted yesterday. You know, we live in a very dangerous world, and there is an important job on oversight of our intel agencies, and Dianne did a great job as both chair and vice chair. But now more than ever, we've got to make sure that the intel oversight is kept bipartisan. One of the great things about the Intel Committee is because it's in a secured spot, more than any other committee, people take off their Democrat and Republican hats, and I've had a long, good working relationship with Chairman Richard Burr, so I hope to continue that. But boy, oh boy, I would have felt a lot better if the president-elect would have gone to seasoned professionals who know how dangerous the world is, but also know that we've got to protect our civil liberties, like Mike Rogers.
Senator Mark Warner, well, congratulations on your new post, I think. You've got a lot of hard work ahead of you.
Thank you so much, Andrea.